How's it, Sean from Combat Simulations? Welcome to my overview and tutorial of Medieval 2 Total War. So before we get started, please subscribe to my channel, it's free, and also leave comments and suggestions. And watch my videos and like them and share them, it helps me a lot, I promise. So, Medieval 2 Total War, it's developed in 2006. There was an expansion for it called the Kingdom Expansion in 2007. It's part of a long franchise from Creative Assembly of Total War games. Basically, turn-based campaign strategy on a map. You play in the medieval era as a medieval country like England or France or wherever, and you then fight the actual battles that happen in real time. That's all. If you haven't been under a rock for all these years, Total War is well known. Well known. It's in fact the best Total War game of the franchise. This is rated. The Medieval and Shogun 2 is the best of the whole entire franchise, even the later ones. Because the later ones did a lot of like Total War, Rome 2 and Attila. They took away a lot of they added things, but they took away a lot of the stuff that made this game iconic and made it really sort of realistic in a sense. For example, like population is gone now in Rome 2, and there's a few things they took out, and even the unit mechanics and how the in fact, this is the pinnacle. This was they rated this. I mean, people generally will rate Medieval 2 as Creative Assembly's finest hour. Really, this is the peak of where they haven't made another one. They made Medieval 1 and Medieval 2, and they haven't made, and it's the only game in Creative Assembly's library that's on medieval warfare. All the other periods, kind of Rome, the later period of Rome, Troy, all of that ancient era, Empire was like, covering the 17th, 18th century, and then Napoleon. So they've never gone back to it, and everybody's looking for the Total War 3, Medieval 3, but it hasn't happened yet. So this is the best in the franchise. Can you believe it? Yeah. Now, I'm using a mod in this game called the Ultimate AI. And the reason I'm using the mod is because everybody knows that Total War, the AI is not the best in the world. And what this mod does is it rebalances the campaign map. The game is basically the same. It just improves the AI in all aspects: the battle AI, the campaign AI, and rebalances the building tree. So the buildings are rebalanced to help the AI and make it more realistic. What I also love about this Ultimate AI, I'll leave a link in my description, so if you need it, you can go get it. Is it also includes the real combat mod, which also rebalances the actual units in the game, so that they perform realistically like they did in historical times. So it makes everything balanced properly using real tactics as well. So that's why I use the Ultimate AI a mod, because it just enhances the game tremendously. As for myself, I've never played Medieval 2. I mean, now that I've got it, I've been playing it, but I have never. This is the first time I'm playing it. Also, I've played Rome. I had Rome, and that's it, Rome. And I had the first Shogun, Shogun 1. If anybody can remember the first Shogun. So I had that. I played Rome to death, and I've now got Medieval 2. I haven't delved into the Warhammer and all the other stuff from Creative Assembly, because my PC is a bit of a potato, and it's a big, heavy downloads, like 40, 50 gigs downloads and stuff. So I haven't thought it was that worth it. But I've got Medieval 2. I've had it for a month now, so I've been playing around with it, playing on the campaign and all this sort of thing. And it's really, really, I'm surprised. I promise you, I'm going to give you a little bit of a tutorial how it works. It's very easy to figure out how these Total War games work. They all work the same way in a sense. There's just different enhancements. And Medieval Total War and all the Total War franchises are very easy to play. Very easy. It's not a complicated game. It's an in-depth game, but not a complicated game. Everything makes sense in the game. Everything. And it's very easy to pick up. Even the battles are intuitive. I thought, because I came from Rome, the first Rome, and that was a basic bare bones. It was a great game, but it was the original after they did Shogun. And and that game wasn't also complicated. Not really complicated in the sense that you can't play it. And I'm surprised. I expected, coming back for so many years to the Total War franchise, I was expecting this thing to be complicated and difficult to play, and it's not. It's not at all. It's very, very simple. Now I'm using the AI mod. I'll just go through a couple of areas just to show you how the game sort of works. There's the tutorial. I can't play that because I got the ultimate AI mod. It doesn't have the tutorial option in there. But let's start with the campaign. So basically, you're in this medieval world. You've got all these different factions to play. And by the way, I also have the Kingdoms expansion. I bought the definitive version, which includes the Kingdoms, Total War Kingdoms. Now, I also have the mod for that. In fact, the Kingdoms mod, because the Kingdoms, when you buy the definitive edition, you get the Kingdoms included. Now, the Kingdoms is like 4 different campaigns. You can play as Jerusalem, and it's small campaigns. Like if you play in the English campaign, you play as England or Scotland. It's just a map of England and Scotland, and you're in there, and it's much more fleshed out. The landmass is bigger, and there's more towns and stuff. And you just play in that, and you play as Ireland or Scotland or Wales and all that type of stuff. And it's separate little campaigns. Now, what they've done in the Kingdoms, just to give you an idea, is they've taken all these kingdoms campaigns and all the factions. They made one grand campaign. Awesome, right? The only thing with that is why I'm not playing that and why I don't want to play that right now is because that game is different from this game. This is more where you start out, say, as England. Let me give you an idea. There you are as England, and then you've got lots of settlements and open areas to go and conquer. And also what I like about the start of this is you start from bare basics. You build up your faction. You've got your basic buildings, and then you build up so you actually grow your civilization, your faction you grow it from the beginning. Whereas in the Kingdoms mod, you're basically starting in 12, I think it's 1216 or 1210, I can't remember, and you're already built up. All the factions are really built up. They've got large castles, so there's not a lot to build up. So you start off with big, huge existing empires, and there's not a lot of expansion to do unless you cause wars with it. I like that. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy that, but I also I want to start also where I can start, like for example, playing England, and I can grow as well without running into all the big factions straight away. And that's what Medieval 2 is. So yeah, just to give you that rundown. So you've got all your different Scotland, you've got about 16 or 17 different factions to play all over the world. It doesn't start like this when you first get it. If you get the definitive version, I think you only got 6 active, but with this mod they activated everything, and you've got long and short difficulty. So let me just give you an idea, and the video is not going to be long. I just want to give you an idea. I'll pick England, go in England, so you can just load it up and see. Now it starts off with all the factions start off with this.
And a crowned king came the dawning of a new era for England. Nobles ordered the construction of mighty castles to fortify the realm. To rule this land is a birthright, but to control it requires the courage and skill few possess. It is a kingdom beset by enemies. The Scots press at its borders, the Vikings to the north, and the French separated by a mere channel of water. All of the country exists in a state of war, as even the common are called upon for duty. In these times of total war, it rests on the shoulders of those who lead to ensure the kingdom does not fall into ruin.
It's great, eh? And in each faction starts with its own narrative, own bits and pieces of what you need to do. Now the two campaigns, the short campaign and the long campaign. The long campaign you have to get, which I selected here. You have to get 45 regions owned, and you got to control Jerusalem as well, which I think is pretty tough. The short campaigns, you've got to in this game you've got to control 15 regions, and you've got to have taken over Scotland and France, which is also nice to play as well. Because the long campaign, I just don't know how. I mean, England. Let's be honest, England's over here, right? I mean, Jerusalem's down here, bro. I mean, how are we going to get down there? I know we're going to go to the Crusades. I've actually never got down here, but we've got to get down there. You've got to control that to win the entire game. So, I mean, if you were playing, say, the Byzantines or down here, you could see this as realistically taking over Jerusalem, but you're up here. England's up here. But anyway, that's the long campaign. Okay, so you start off basically like this. Now, each faction that you start with starts with a number of cities that you already own, and around your cities are all these these rebel settlements. And this is what I love about this. You don't have big empires right on your doorstep straight away. And you've got, and in each landmass, each city is part of an area. So London is part of this area, and you can see the faint highlights of it. Like Caen is there. This is Rennes. Okay. Now, your cities are divided into castles. Let me show you, and towns. Now, let me just give you an idea. You can either build castles or you can build towns, and you can develop them. If you build a town, if you start a town, you can change to a castle later, but you'll lose a lot of the town's benefits. Now, the towns are your money places, right? This is just to give you a brief overview. Towns are your money places where you it's trade and income and all that is for the towns. And the castle doesn't have as many trade or income options. But with the castle, you build more military items. I think you can only build cavalry in the castles. Now, if you look at let me just have a look here. I just want to open up the building trade. Let me just open this up here. Okay, so it's got a building browser. So you've got cities and you've got castles. And as you build, because London is now a town, if I'm not correct. Let me just give you an idea. Yeah, London is a town. All right. So as you build, let me just go back in there. The town, you have to build so many. You have to get to a certain amount of people, and then you can build your town further up. And with each level of your town, you go right down to a large city. You can build more things in the town. It opens up more things to build in the town, like you can see as I go. And this is the browser of it, so you can follow this quite easily as you build your town. Just remember, cities basically are good income places, and they also build units as well, but they're basically income places. And you can change the tax rate of a city. You can't change the tax rate of a castle. I'll give you an idea. That's a wooden castle. So each settlement is ruled by population, public order, income, and religion. Now, in order to get all this balanced out, you need to have things like garrisons in there, the income you make from it, what kind of religion is within the castle, in that area as well. And you've got various tools. Let me give you an idea. You start off with a family tree, where you are the faction heir leader. And this is like I'm just saying. England started off. We start William the Conqueror. Okay, he's the king of England, and then you've got various captains. You've got admirals. You've got people that aren't in charge of army will be a captain, and you've got guys that actually run. You can just right click and see where he is, and you've got governors from your tree. Let's go back. Okay, yeah, from your tree. Now, what's unique about this game, and what really makes this game quite awesome, is that each character. Let me give you an idea of William the Conqueror. Each character gets traits as the game goes on, and these traits affect his command, his dread, his authority, and his piety. Now, piety and authority help you, and dread also helps you in towns and cities and castles. They help you with the public order and the income, so they can be better governors. Now, as he in the game, if you use him, what's really unique about this game, and it's not unique to the Total War franchise, but I love this part of it. Each character, how you use them is how he develops. So if he sits in town for a long time and you build a lot of brothels and stuff, he'll become a womanizer. He'll get traits to be a womanizer. If you send him out in the field and leading a lot of armies and stuff like that, he will get conquering hero traits. He'll get traits to match how he lives. Isn't that awesome? I mean, who thought of something like that? And each of these characters. Oh, let me go back here. Each of these characters then develops over time. And you get more characters. These are people that lead your armies and governors and stuff. And you get more and more characters that come to you through marriage and all this type of stuff. And through also, very importantly, when you get married, your troop, your faction heir and your characters marry, they produce children. Those children become of age, and then they get some of the traits from their parents. And you can also put them in towns as governors, and they'll become a governor. They'll get traits to be like he's sitting at home, he's becoming lazy because he's now a governor, and things like that. So it makes this game very, very unique. Now, your characters are the ones you put in all the towns and lead your army, depending on and it's pretty straightforward. You can see his command and his authority and his dread and all that sort of thing. Here are all your settlements listed. So we've got 2 castles and we've got London, which is a town, and it tells you immediately, what now the population is declining or it's growing or it's stagnant. Now, in order to advance into the higher levels of the buildings of the building tree, you need to have your population grow so that you can get to 4,000, and then you can move become a large city or become a huge city or something like that. I hope I'm explaining that properly. And then you also have agents. You have diplomats, you have spies, you have assassins, you have cardinals, and you've got daughters, like princesses. Now, these are all unique. I'm not going to go too much in detail, but your diplomat is the guy that's doing all the diplomacy. Your spy is the guy who can go into settlements, open the gates for you, can spy, and he's got a large radius. I actually love the spies, the way they've done the spies thing in this. And I'll show you why. For example, I have a spy over here.
Where to, sire?
I'm going to send him up there.
Quietly.
Now he opens up a
course,
large area where you can see what's going on, because the map is covered by the fog of war, so you can't see what's going on. You can't even see the towns there until you get in there. That's how bare bones the map is. So it's kind of like really exploring the map and finding where, because we know that Angiers is there, but where are the other French towns or cities or castles? Now, spies I find very useful in this game, because look at the area of results. You can see. Look at the area you can see. Now, you just sit him there. Or you can put him... Only thing is, if you put him into a castle, a foreign castle, he might be killed. Because his spying ability is based on... Let me give you an idea. On his subterfuge. So he might get killed. You see, so I love to use spies and send them about here and there so they can uncover all this area for me, so I can know what's coming my way. Yeah. So you got spies, you got diplomats. Sorry, I'm repeating myself. Priests are very important.
Yes,
because in the Middle Ages, as you know, I mean, religion is very important, and your priests are very important because they actually they kill heretics, because you every now and then get characters like heretics and witches come into your area, and your areas. So just let me give you an example of your priest. For example, there's my priest.
God's
Now, if you
servant.
hold over these, it says they're 85 Catholic, and it says 90 Catholic. Now, when heretics come and stuff like that, and if you don't keep your priest in the areas, he will now, that will drop. He will now help improve this quite a bit. And he also looks after heretics and witches that come in here. Now, as you expand, you can expand to areas that don't have so much, don't have a lot of Catholics or Protestants or religion, and you need him to use that. And also, by expanding your religion in the game, by making it more, you become more with the religion. This helps with the Pope. because the Pope can excommunicate you, and if you get too low on your religion, whatever, and he can and then everybody's up against you. So you need to keep yourself in the good books with the Pope. All right. So I didn't realize how important priests are. In fact, all of these guys, priests. I used to think,
Yes,
the priests are
Your
just the
Highness.
priests are important. Your merchants
At
are
your
also hell of
service.
important. You use them. For example, here's a merchant.
At your service.
Now, what you do, let's see if I can reach one now. Let me just see if I can. That is the merchant, right? Yeah. I'm going to put him on. I think that's a.
As
Let
you
me just
command.
see. Now,
Opening a new
you
trade
see,
lane, my
now there's
liege.
on the map in every region, you've got various trade resources. Like there, you've got dyes. And each one of these things is valuable to the extent of how far it is from you, to the extent of how many is on your region, and the skill of the merchant. Now, for example, if I put my merchant over
At
here
your
on
service.
this, what is this? I'll have a look here. Iron. Okay, so that's iron. So now if he sits there, every turn you will be generating 17 florins per turn. Now this is added to your merchant trade. See there? And this adds up to your side, your income. So your merchants are primarily for that. But the thing is with merchants, other merchants can come in. I don't know if they have a fight or whatever you call it. But your opposing merchants, and he can go anywhere on the map, your opposing merchants can come and absorb him, which means they'll take over this thing. They can challenge your merchant, and they'll take over this, and you'll be killed or removed from the game. So you have that whole merchant thing going on as well. It's also a part of the game that you need. You need merchants. But the thing is, in the game, you can only recruit. I'm going to give you an idea. You can only recruit. Let's see if we can make merchants. I don't think anywhere we can make merchants. Okay, we could have. You can only recruit what your settlement can handle. For example, like I've got one merchant, but I can't make any more merchants until I build another. Let me give you an idea. Yeah, this thing here, the grain exchange. So build one out somewhere else. I will get access to an extra merchant. So you don't just get unlimited merchants. You've got to have the buildings to support them. And it's the same with the troops as well. When you build buildings, you only the how can I put it? The amount you're able to build is the amount that the building you've got in there. The building that you have in there, like the town guard. This enables me to purchase a town militia times max. I can purchase up to 2 town militia units, and that's it. All right, until I build other structures. So your buildings limit the amount of units you can build until you upgrade to a wooden castle, or you build bigger castles and bigger cities. You could build more of them. So, and it tells you here. So I would only be able to, if I've got 2 in play for that, I won't be able to build anymore. And you can see it right here. I hope I'm explaining this. I'm trying to do my best. And it's the same with ships. It's the same with all the items that you build in this. Depending on the buildings you've got in there, and what the amount of, like for example, this building here where I showed you now. Where was it? This one. Yeah, like you said, you could build a merchant, but yeah, you can only build 2 militia and two spear militia and a town militia. You can only build 2 and 3 of the spear militia, and then when you build them all, you have to upgrade your city or build more units. That's the crux of how the game sort of limits you from building hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of units. And it's all based, everything in your towns and your cities and your castles is based on your population growth, your public order, because that's what keeps people happy, the income you're getting, and then the religion. Religion is very important, because from this, if you're not like 100% with religion, heretics can come, and this also pleases the Pope in your religion side, and I think it helps the settlement as well. Yeah, and then you can also see in each area. I know I'm jumping around here. I'm trying to keep this structured, but I know how structured it is. In this area, in each area, you can see the trade details in there. where the sea imports for your area. For example, like we'll pick this. I think that is, yeah, that's for London. If we pick, I don't know if it'll update it. Yeah, there's nothing much in there. Are there any town details here? See here. So the land trade imports and exports, and also the sea trade exports and imports, and that's where you use your diplomat, because this is all money to you, and then you can expand your. Let me just think of it. You can expand your, for example, it's dirt roads will improve roads and trade. You can expand your network to get more trade and to improve your money situation and your trade situation. There's a lot more to this game. It's in depth. It's actually not difficult to understand as long as you get past the building tree and you realize what you can build, what you can't build. But a lot of it is common sense. For example, like, and I'll just show you. I mean, I'm wanting to grow all my cities, right? I need to get more population in order for me to grow, right? To get to the next level. So what would I build here? Either one of the two. Land clearance, improved farms and food population. You build that, and it's helping you out with your population growth. You build this, it's helping out with your roads and your trade. Roads make you go faster in the settlement, and your trade. That's more money. So the buildings explain everything of what you can build. Here it tells you, like, let's build a small chapel. Your religion conversion is 1%, so you increase that. And public order bonus due to happiness is 5%. That's where that comes from. And yeah, so the buildings, so you pretty much know what you need to do. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. Just trying to think. Your fleets
Fleet ready,
have
sire.
admirals, and they only have admirals. You
Set
can't
sail.
fight
Aye,
on
sire.
the. Let me just put them in there.
Combining naval forces.
The fleets are abstract. I mean, you've got a fleet. You can move your
Ships
troops
ready.
around, your people around, your characters via your fleet. Your fleets get an admiral, and the fleet is auto result on the battle. But here's where the game really shines. It's nice to have this campaign map and to have all this intricacy going on. I think I've basically explained everything that you would need to know to get started with the different characters and your different guys. But the game expands on the situation now where you, for example, I wonder if I should attack this. When you, and I think I'm gonna show you one now. I'm gonna take this,
Your will, sire.
and I'll take all of
My
that,
lord.
and I'll just move him in there.
Sire.
And I'm going
Combining
to
forces.
attack Angiers just to show you what a battle is. So now when you actually fight battles, the battles are fought in the area that you fought. So if you fight a battle, you see my mouse is where the trees are, you'll have a place where there's trees and a lot of bush. You fight in open terrain, so it sort of mimics or captures the area where you're fighting. When you fight a battle, and everybody knows this, I'm gonna just attack this neutral factor just to give you an idea.
Prepare to assault the walls.
Now
Relay
I'll just see if he takes me, because I'll end the turn now and I'll maintain
The
it.
siege goes
Now,
as planned, sire.
I know for a fact he's got all of this in here, and he might send Oaks out to come and attack me. And I'm going to show you what the real-time battle looks like. You fight the battles in the actual terrain that you're in, that you're actually sending. So I'm going to just advance it, and let's just see if he fights me. I'm hoping he does. I don't know.
Bonjour. Please hear me out, Seigneur.
I'm going to decline
It
this
is fine,
ceasefire,
Seigneur.
and I'm doing
I
that because
respect
I
you,
want to.
Seigneur.
I want to see if he fights me,
Au revoir.
because I want to show you what the main battle is. We might go 2 turns to do this. Now it's in turns. You see at the top there, everything is. Let me just click past that. He's probably going to come for a trade agreement.
Greetings.
Yeah,
There's a word for you.
yeah, let's have a trade.
Glad to reach an
Let's have a
will.
trade.
That was uneventful. Good day.
Come on. Okay. Okay, so now betrothed. I got somebody, so I've got an extra, because she was married. That princess of mine, so she got married to this guy. I can accept or reject that. I think I should find him. In my there he is now. Now he's
Orders.
married to the princess that I sent, well, that I had here, and I've got an extra guy. And you can look at his stats here.
Your will, sire.
You know, where he's got high loyalty, a lot of piety, but not much chivalry and not much command. Now chivalry, I wonder if he's a good guy too. Let me just see if I can.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got that's your faction leader's got authority, dread, and command. Now authority is unique to the faction leader. That determines his like authority. He's in charge. If you read it helps you in the settlements. I just wanted to find one. I know I'm butchering this. Where's my thing now? Let me just see if I can get this guy. Okay,
Orders.
good. I just want to see if he's got... See, he's got chivalry. Some of them have dread, and some of them have chivalry. I'm just not sure if they all have dread and chivalry. I couldn't remember that. Let me just go and have a look. Yeah, you see, some of them have dread, and some of them have chivalry.
My lord.
Like, for example, he's got chivalry. And some of them have dread. Now, dread... Basically, what dread does is the opposite of chivalry. So, if you do great things, you ransom, you don't kill all the prisoners in the settlement, you don't raise them, that type of stuff, you'll get more chivalry. And this helps with your income in your province as a governor. Now, the dread works in the opposite way. You know, if you raise settlements and stuff, you get more dread. Now, dread helps you, I think, also helps you in the settlements with piety and that sort of thing. I think, if I'm not mistaken, public order and stuff like that. So dread and chivalry both work. It's just opposite ends of the coin. And as far as I know, you get some characters have chivalry and some have dread. I don't know if they all have chivalry. I don't know if he's got. See, he's got chivalry as well, but I think dread comes as you commit certain things. That's right. So if you with towns and stuff, if you raise them, that you get dread. You don't get chivalry. And I'm just hoping this guy will fight out here. So I'm gonna just move it on because I just wanted to show you a bit of the battle map, and then we're done. I just hope he fights me so I can give you a better idea. I don't know if he's going to come out and fight me, so I don't know. Oh, he's still not going to fight me. Can I raise this?
My lord. To war then, sire.
I didn't build any. Okay, I can assault it, and I also can lift the sheet. So let's just see if we can assault it. Now I'm just going to give you an idea of a battle map so you can see. I can ask the computer to resolve it, or I can leave. This is what I'm up against. He's in the town, and I have this much that are standing outside the town. I'm just going to go in there.
I shall lead our forces into battle, my lord.
This picture here is from the Ultimate AI mod. They've got these types of pictures. You won't see it in the definitive version. So yeah, I'm just showing you. This part is just the start. And you can wait here. I think the weather will change, but let's just say we start the deployment. So you've got your troops, and I've got huge battles, huge units on show. You can group them, and you can also put them in a line. So then you can just paste them wherever you want as you set them up. You can paste them, and if you look at them, they look awesome. Okay, and you can. What's great about the medieval game, the medieval Total War, is that when you upgrade your equipment and your armor and stuff, you actually see it on the troops in the battlefield. You actually see the upgrades. You see what you've done to them. They grow on the field with you. And yeah, so you can arrange the stuff like this, and then you've got all of that. I can actually just put it. Yeah, you can arrange your army, and you can put them in groups. Now if you put, say, like I put these archers in this group, I'll just make them a group, and you can if you can put them in lines. You can also ask them to enable the skirmish, but they can't now because these guys are. I can just take them off. Yeah, I've just taken them off the computer. So you can ask them to, with skirmishes, you can ask them to disable the skirmish mode. With skirmishes, they'll try to keep a distance between the enemy and shooting the arrows, and you can disable it. So you've got full control of how you can shoot in that. They can fire special volleys. They can fire special flaming arrows. All of this stuff. You different horsemen, different, and you can always right click to see what this thing does and all its benefits that it has. Say these Levy Archermen. I got to right click on here, and you can see you can charge. You can do a skill trim. I can't pronounce it. Basically, that means he just forms this like circle of spears. It protects him from all sides. He has a bonus fighting cavalry, and he has a combat bonus in the woods and the snow. And there's his defensive stats. You can't see it now because I've started. I can start the battle. I'll just pause it, and you can see all his defensive, his attack, and his charge bonus. I've got, as I said, the huge, because in the definitive version you can also have it on huge. So you've got like 150 troops, not 70 to start with, which makes the battles look so much more awesome. I'm surprised, and I'll say this much, having been so long ago since I played a Total War game, I'm surprised how realistic, and I'm not saying this thing is like avant-garde, I'm not saying this thing is like Fields of Glory 2, but I am really surprised how realistic the actual tactical battles are, the real-time battles. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Each unit has morale, and depending on the units around them, whether they're breaking or not, depending on who he's fighting, depending on where he is, even on a hill, all of those factors are taken into account. And the movement of the units, and they also get tired too, fatigue, which you don't see in a lot of the battles. I know Fields of Glory 2's got no fatigue model. It's just got the disruption in the terrain, but after you've moved out of the disruption, there's nothing wrong with you. All of these units have a fatigue model modeled into it. So if you run them too fast, they get tired. If you tack up a hill, they're disadvantaged. If you're on a hill, defending a hill, you get an advantage. If you're here, like I said earlier, okay, let's just, this guy here, these two guys here. If you're fighting here, and he's fighting somebody there, and he breaks and runs, it affects his morale. You can cause a chain reaction, and these guys, depending on what's going on around in the battlefield, these guys will break or fight on, and your general has got a special ability called a rally ability, which he can help rally them. And he also, I'm assuming, I haven't seen it, but he also confers tactical advantages to your troops too. The charge, and all the different things you can do with your units. Like, for example, your archers, you can actually put them in skirmish mode, and they will run away if they're too close. They'll act like skirmishers. They won't directly attack units. You can ask them to stand at will. You can ask them to fire at will. And each unit has its own tactical. Like this one's got a shield I can't pronounce it. Shield tom formation. Each unit, depending on their what they can do, you can actually activate it on the campaign map, on the tactical side. You've also got formations that you can put your guys in. Let me just put it like this. You can select formations of different. How I should have shown you when we were setting up, because the game's actually started now. But you can actually change their formations, different formations that you can give your troops at the beginning, or even in battle, and you can. I didn't realize you could make your own formations as well. If you put a whole series of troops in like if I put this guy behind this guy, and I'm like this, and I put them in a group, they will move as the whole entire group, and they'll fight in that formation. There's a lot of depth in this, and there's a lot of. Now, you got to understand, you're not playing as the general in this, because you got a lot of faction leaders. You're playing, and this is what took me a while to understand. When you play these battles, I'll say this much. I used to be a critic of this type of warfare, because I thought it was just, this is just RTS click and move. There's no realism. I'm actually surprised at how much detail and realism there is in the actual battles, and how they fight out, and how the troops move with the with the morale and the different formations, and they move realistically on the battlefield. But you've got to remember that you're not this particular general, okay? Because you've got lots of you're not this person, and you're not even the faction leader. You are the spirit of this army. And when I sort of that came and that aha came to me, then I realized that this actually is realistic. It's quite realistic the way they've done it. Because if you think yourself as a general, how can you just order this guy over there, your general's over there? I mean, realistically, he's not going to be able to get an order to this guy, and this guy starts moving straight away. It doesn't make sense. It's not realistic. But if you look at this game as a tactical battle, as you look at it as you are not the general, you're the spirit of the army that you are now fighting. It's spirit. So in a sense, you're like the guiding spirit of this army. So if you go there, that's simulating your general and telling him, and him moving on his own. You're the spirit that's guiding this. And if you think of it that way, the game becomes very realistic and very playable, very good, brilliant. The tactical battles are really, really good. I was actually surprised. I played Rome for a long time. I had it many years ago, before this game, and I could never really get into it because I understand the campaign map and the real-time battles were confusing for me at that time. This was years ago. It's now 2023. That was in 2004, 5. But coming back to it and just seeing what they've done, especially with Total War Medieval, the morale factors and all this stuff that improves your troops, and also the mod that I'm using, the Ultimate AI mod. There's a real combat mod that's incorporated in the mod that actually rebalances all the units, rebalances their weapons, and also makes the units realistic in terms of the men, the weapons, the armor, what the spears did. So it brings in a lot of realism into the actual battle that you fight. And it's incorporated in this, which is awesome. Now, for example, I'm just going to move around a bit. Let's just move these guys up there. I should have put these guys. Oh, let me get back down here. And your armies look awesome. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the stuff, especially with the huge. I've used the huge model, so you've got like chunks and chunks of. Let me see if he can. Yeah, let's just see if he goes. Let me just play it. Let's see if he takes that. So I'm just going to give you an idea. He's going to take the ramp. And when you move units as well, here's what's great. This isn't all Total War battles. You can take these guys, not only move them, but you can arrange. You see how I'm arranging. You can ask them to stand like that. You can arrange them more like that. You can spread out the range. You can bring it closer. That I love about it. It really is flexible. So I'm going to just play a little bit. I'm not going to siege this town. I'm not going to, but I'm just going to give you an idea. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And I'll tell him to now. I don't know if he can go in there. He's now on, isn't he? Let's just have a look here. I know what. Why can't I? Well, I can't. In fact, you know why I can't? I'm using battering rams. I actually can't win this fight. I should have actually got catapults and other things. I think the battering rams can't win the fight, but I know it's stupid to just pick this, but I just wanted to show you how this thing operates, how and you can move all around. You can move around. You can go, and I've also got it. I've set it on limit your field of view. Not the full extent. Like if you set it up with a full extent, you can see way past into the town. But that's not realistic. It's nice to be able to know that you can only see what your army can see. This gives it a bit of realism in the game. And just to give you an idea, I want to actually show you a real battle. This is just to give you an idea of the rundown.
Our enemies have snatched victory from us like.
And I think I basically covered the campaign map. So you move and create alliances, you build your settlements up, and you fight all kinds of wars against your opponents. And you also get, oh shit, I forgot to mention this. You also get what they call is I don't think I have any now. No, I didn't get any of that. But you get events that come up that ask you to take a certain settlement, say there, and you'll get like 5,000 florins or 2,000 florins, or you get some extra military. Sometimes the Pope will send you requests. These are events where he wants you to build a church in one of your settlements, and he'll give you. And if you don't, because remember, yeah. So remember, yeah, the Pope over here. The Pope, you are rated here. As you start the game, you're rated with this. This is the favor of the Pope, right? How you stand with the Pope. And as he gives you events and he asks you to go on crusades, you increase that if you follow out his events. If you don't, you lose this. And if you get too low, he then can excommunicate you. Now, you don't want to be excommunicated, because then everybody's against you. Everybody can declare war on you. Nobody's gonna, the whole world's against you, and they're all declaring war. So you've got to watch the Pope standing as well. So this just keeps you on the toes here. I think I had, no, I didn't. Yes, here's the missions. I got this mission the earlier time. I wanted to tell you. These are the events. Now, I had this earlier. That's why I wasn't on the side. Now, he's asked me to take this Rennes, right? Is it Rennes? Yeah, to take this settlement. And I will receive a reward of 2,500 florins. And you got 14 turns to tell you to do it. Your council of nobles, the Pope, your faction leaders, they all give you events as you go along, just to keep the game interesting, so that you could move with, and then they give you incentives to go and do that. So as I'm playing now as England, this lot here, I've got to take over the whole of Scotland. I've got 45 regions, so I've got to take 45 different regions here, and I've got probably to take over Scotland, and I've got to also take over Jerusalem. Got to land there and take the city, which I think is pretty daunting. In the as I said earlier, in the short campaign, you basically got the mission of taking 15 regions. You got to take over Scotland, and you got to take over France, which is like super realistic. You got the same amount of turns, but it's super realistic. Your mission, what they've told you here, the mission is always 45 regions, including Jerusalem, Inverness, and Angers. Now, Inverness is obviously up here by Scotland. Inverness, you got to, and Angers. I don't know where Angers is, but you got to take Angers as well. Now, the smaller one, you've got 15 regions to take, but you've got to take over France, and you've got to take over Scotland, which seems more realistic and seems more doable. The 45 regions look like you take over the whole bloody world almost, and it's still, now it's fun, as I said in the beginning, to take over Jerusalem, which is down here. This is Jerusalem. You got to take this Jerusalem over. It's fine if you're Byzantines or whatever, but down here in England is all the way down there. So this is quite a challenge. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know. I haven't played it till then, but I don't know. Now, with my limited knowledge on the game, I've explained to you the basics of this game, how it actually works. You move in turns. Your campaign man move in turns. You move your spies around, your diplomats around, create trade treaties. You build up your cities and towns. You conquer more towns, right? Which you now would be a town or a castle. We should now start to build in that town. You build up the town, right? And then you just grow stronger by doing that. And you take over the other factions that are in your way. So, and each faction has its own unique, like, objectives. Like England's got that objectives, the French have something else, as you play. And each different faction has got different troops, different types of starting troops, different types of weapons, different cities that they build. And a lot of the factions have got also their own unique buildings, and also their own unique units as well from different areas of because, like, for example, I think I can hire I don't know, I think I can, I'm not sure. Yeah, I can hire mercenaries. Right, so depending on the areas here, you can hire mercenaries, and mercenaries are like cost twice as much as you could build in a town, but then of course there's no upkeep, I think, with the mercenaries, and you can pay for it there. So you've got different troops in different areas. Different regions have different troops to spawn. Now, the ultimate AI has rebalanced the campaign map. you'll see if you play the vanilla, it's a little bit different. So they've rebalanced the buildings. They've made the AI smarter in the campaign, so the AI is not so dumb in the campaign. It actually has reasonable requests and plays the diplomacy properly. They've also the AI in the city in the actual battles, the real time battles, has also been enhanced. I read there that they also enhanced its flanking ability. They've really and made it the AI has bigger stacks when it attacks you, and they use the real combat mod. And they've also changed the order, revised the buildings, just to make it more of a challenge and more realistic. Like you won't get cities now where you've got units in it, but you don't have the building. Because in the vanilla one, sometimes you've got cities that have got units in it, but they don't have the building that builds the units. You understand? So they've rebalanced all of that. I really enjoy this one. I think it's fantastic, and it's improved the AI significantly. I mean, it's AI. I mean, you can't. I mean, Total War is known for really bad AI, but anything that improves the AI is a plus. So they've improved it the best they can. They made it bigger stacks. They've also made the quality because your towns advance through population levels. So how you're able to build your tree, how you're able to advance to this is population levels. Like you need 2,000 for a town. Then once your population reaches I'm just saying for example 4,000, then you're able to advance to a town. To a large town, and then your large town has buildings within it that come with a large town that you need to build. And at the end, when you've built up some towns, you all to the end to large cities and huge cities, you also get these guilds. Now the guilds are basically they come to you, and each guild has got different troops. I don't know if we can show it here. Let me just see. No, we can't show the guilds. Oh no, we can. Yeah, like these are and it tells you what bonuses it gives you. I just want to just see. Let me just get these. You got a whole. Hey, there's a lot of trees. Like the swordsmith skill. You get better experience for your knights and also new units as well. Okay, let's just take Knights of the Templar. Okay, Knights of the Templar. Now, these guilds you can't just normally build, as far as I understand. What happens is the builds. These are as you build your town, as you structure it, and because each of these has certain requirements for them to come and request to offer you to build a temple. Like the Templars can't build in England; they can only build in certain areas. Now they will come and offer you to build in your town to build a guild, and then you build this guild. And there's one guild you can build for your entire settlement, and there's one for the entire game. There's a Master's Guild can only exist in the entire world, only one. And each one has unique units that come with it, unique things. So to further, I'm explaining this to further uh, understand the unique each faction, how you can shape each faction can be very different from like your England can be very different from say the Moors or something like that. They're very different troops, very different buildings, very different capabilities, and all that type of stuff. Hope I'm getting that through to you through properly. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get out of here. I haven't covered everything. I mean, I think I made a ton of mistakes and everything, but you just gotta understand it's easy to play. It's pretty intuitive. It's straightforward. There's not a lot in the game. I'll give you an idea of a custom battle. Let's just see if we can get a quick battle going. Just to show you the flow of the battle and how it works. Okay, great. So we're going to start the deployment. So there, I'm going to put this guy. So you move guys around. You can put them around. I'm not going to shape them too much, but I'm just going to give you an idea of how the battle flows. And yeah, just a bit of a skirmish so you can understand. I'm using big units, which makes it awesome. So you've got the biggest units possible. And I've got the graphics on the highest setting. It works well on my PC. And you can play with this with a potato computer. I mean, I've got a Pentium i3, can you believe it? That's how slow my computer is. And I've got a 128 meg onboard GPU. That's from Intel. So I've got a very basic system. It's actually a monkey system. And this game, even on the highest settings, really runs perfect. I've got this in almost the highest setting. I picked almost the highest of everything, and the game runs perfectly, as you can notice. I mean, there's no real bad frame drops. Let's just have a look and see. Yeah, and it's such an awesome game. Just want to see if I can get them to go in there, and let's just try this out. Oh, he's bloody run away. Let's just try. Let's just make him run. Make him run. Let's just see when they collide. Now this is the infantry. Now depending on, oh, you can't see it. Okay, let's just see these guys. Yeah, you see, it's like a complete chaotic, like a complete battle, and you got to try and keep all your formations, and yeah, it's like really, really. Okay, there they go. Yeah, medieval Total War is just a phenomenal game. Yeah, all the fighting. So you basically, as I said, I'm going to get out of here just to give you an idea of that. I'm not actually playing anything. Just to give an idea of how the game works. You've got a campaign map, you turn-based, you go make offers, build your cities, build your settlements. Very basic, easy to understand, difficult to master, but easy to understand. And you fight the actual fights, the campaigns, the actual real-time battles. You fight on that. You can also automate it. You know, you have an order resolve. That's if you want to play it that way. But the real fun in this game is to go right down into the campaign, into the real-time battle, and actually fight on the map with all the troops that you've made and all that type of thing. There's nothing else. I'm going to really play this game hard. I'm going to start as England, and then I'll play all the factions. I don't know if I'm going to play as a short or long campaign. I still have to decide what I'm going to do. The long campaign seems a bit long, but I'm just daunted by the fact that you've got to actually take Jerusalem and 45 territories. Now, I'm thinking 45 territories is conquer the world, but we could still do that. But to take Jerusalem, I don't know. That short campaign makes more sort of realistic sense. I mean, hold 15 regions, eliminate factions, France and Scotland. So that's this generic area. So I might just play as a short campaign or long campaign. I haven't decided yet on what I'm going to do. And as you see, there's a description of each one, their weaknesses, what their strengths are, what they get, and yeah. Yeah, I think I've covered everything. I don't think there's anything. There's a tutorial in this, but I mean, I can't play the tutorial because, well, that doesn't actually, because of this AI mod, you can't really play like the historical battles. You'll see, I've got some of them here. Yeah, but you can't play them. You can't play them. If you go next, you see it doesn't play them. So that's the only thing with a mod. There's some stuff you like historical battles, and the tutorial doesn't work properly. But you here to play the grand campaign. If you know, I don't worry about the tutorial, the historical battles. With this mod, you can play a quick battle, you can do a custom, you can play the grand campaign, and that's why we're here. You know, you can read the manual for the tutorial. Yeah, I think that's everything. I think I'm sure I missed stuff out, and I'm sure I got a whole lot of stuff wrong. All right. But I've given you an idea of basically what the game is. Very simple to play and very intuitive, and it doesn't take you long to figure out how to play. And there's a lot of depth, and I really love it. I took it down, and I'm really it's an awesome game. I can understand why it's top tier. It's that and Shogun 2 is rated the best ever Total Wars. Even today's Total War is not even classed as good as this, and I can see why. You know, I've been playing this for this past 3 weeks. Alright, yeah, I think I covered everything. Please subscribe to my channel, it's free. And also leave comments and suggestions. And watch my videos, and like them, and share them, it helps me a lot. Alright, until our next video, Sean from Combat Simulations, good day on you.